Reggie here, your friendly neighborhood bodybuilder and comic book collector, and I want to welcome you to another one of my live streams. I am feeling frisky on a Friday night. I had an idea for a show that I wanted to do, and then, as you guys know, I went into the other room and I started to do some honeydew items, right, to buy myself some time here in the room, some washing the dishes. And I had an epiphany, had a thought that came to me. And then I almost came in here to go with the adjusted theme, right, or topic that I wanted to talk about. And then I stifled that. Because I don't want to preempt myself. I may release this video next week or the week after. So we are going to stick with the original theme that prompted me to set up this live stream. And at some point in the future, you guys will actually see what it was that I was thinking when I was washing dishes. And what's hilarious is that I filmed the other day a live set. Well, I filmed a video that I was going to release to you guys. And I was literally in the kitchen. I had it all set up. It was like chaos in there. And I'm filming this thing and the video was garbage. The video was utter garbage. The sound quality wasn't there. The lights weren't there. And I mean, it was a complete disaster. It was a complete disaster. So I scrapped that entire video. I re-recorded it here in the room. And I put some really awesome visuals to it that you guys will see at some point. But it was going to be a really cool video. It was an homage, a throwback, if you will, to me doing a lot of videos in the kitchen, like back in the day. So I was going to finally do it. And it was bad. It was just bad, man, in many different ways. At some point, maybe I'll be able to get the mic in the right place to be able to film it where I'm not picking up too much sound from the water. I mean, it was a cluster. It was truly a cluster. But let me say hello to some comic book soldiers that have joined me here. And then we are going to jump into the topic that I wanted to discuss. And what I will tell you is it's a very brief topic. It is nothing too serious. I wanted to go live. I found a topic. I was like, we could talk about that. That's cool. But we will spend a little bit of time talking about whatever it is that may be top of mind for you all. So certainly get your comments, your thoughts ready. If you throw it up in all caps, we will try to get to it. So the Blue Wrench is up in here. Tina's in the house. It's good to see you as always. My man Matt Woods was here. I think he's going to come back shortly. John's Comics with Kids, Mr. Pink Bandana himself. Shout out to you, brother. It is always good to see you, my friend. Michael is in here. Andrew is in here. Connecting Comics is in the house. Bello. Wes, how you doing, brother? It is good to see you. Kimball is in the house. Silver Age Surfer and the Short Box is in here. Scrolling down through the names, Raging Cajun Comics is in here. Mr. DC, welcome, greetings and salutations to you. Fantastic name, by the way, DC, because we are going to be talking about DC. My man Andrew is in here. Keith is in here. Keith Tate. Super honorable nephew, the man that believes in the power of 12 with 12 copies of the Regie Collects exclusive variant in his collection. Shout out to you, brother. And just in case people are wondering, those are the variants on the wall. I have people that are posting a message like, what is that yellow label on the wall? It is my variant signed by me. That is who's on the wall. It is a testament to ego. No, it is not. I am so joking. Noah, it's good to see you. My man Jerry is in here. It is always good to see you. All right. Thank you. Oh, we had Jester Regan. Jester Regan is in here. It's good to see you, my friend. Hopefully, Jester Regan, you are wearing one of those fantastic hats that you wear during your videos and live streams. This dude makes a hat look fantastic. I couldn't wear those hats, but I am a fan of hats, specifically white hats, but that's a completely another story. All right. So welcome to you guys again. I was feeling a little frisky and was like, you know what? I'm going to jump on here. I'm going to go live. I'm going to spend some time with the people. Bought myself a little bit of time, like 30 minutes. I said, baby, I'm going in here. I'm going to do this live stream. 30 minutes. I said, 30 minutes. I'm going to be in here. It'll probably be an hour, but we'll have to deal with the ramifications of that decision on the other side. because there is always a price to pay. So I was actually I was perusing the news sites earlier today, and I saw a post that tied to a topic that we discussed earlier this week, a video that I released talking about Stan Lee doing some work for DC, right? Back in the day, somebody said this to me, said Stan Lee's contract ended. Marvel didn't renew it. Stan went and worked for DC for a little bit. They recognized the error of their ways, brought him back under contract. But while he was there, Stan Lee did a series. What was it? Just Imagine. And it was Stan Lee's take and interpretation on classic DC characters, where he just reimagined what these characters could be like. And I showed in this video 10 of the 13, I think, books that he worked on. I'm hoping to still find some of them. One of the books that I was missing was a Wonder Woman book. And what was really cool about that Wonder Woman book, and why I am hopeful that I will still find it, is that that book was a collaboration between Stan Lee and Jim Lee. The Lee brothers made some magic on Wonder Woman, which brings me to the topic that I wanted to briefly touch on today. There is some news out there, and this is not new news, but I'm sharing it with you guys now because I just became aware of it, that Jim Lee wants to do a Wonder Woman book at some point, and he wants to introduce new elements to her mythology. And so he's done a couple of runs on Superman, a couple of runs on Batman, but he has not completed his holy trinity by working on Wonder Woman directly. And so he did this in his pre-recorded remarks at DC fandom. He basically said, there's a couple of things I'd like to work on. One of those things is Wonder Woman. And so this article by this guy basically talks about some of the stuff that that he would want to work on, namely working on Wonder Woman. So it says, Lee, of course, has drawn Wonder Woman on several occasions, his run on Justice League, which was really good, as well as numerous covers, and even revamped the character with Stan Lee for the late writer's Just Imagine series. But what the artist is talking about today is a full run on the characters. Now, what was really cool for me is I love some Jim Lee. You guys know that, right? And I was actually watching let me make sure you guys can see that. I was watching his Twitch feed, and he was drawing 3 connecting covers. And what I did not know at the time was what he was drawing is exactly what you see on the screen right here. And it was basically a depiction of Wonder Woman at 3 different time periods. So I guess like the golden age kind of stuff is her on the left. Maybe the bronze is in the middle, and then the modern stuff is on the far right. But I was watching him as he was drawing, erasing, redrawing these various sketches, and then kind of laying them out to see how they would work almost as a connecting cover. And it was a really fun stream because I had an opportunity to like hear his thought process and what he was thinking about doing and why he was doing it and how he wanted them to all fit together and be these discrete time periods depicting the same character. It was really cool. And then today I actually saw the final product. And so that was a really cool thing because I probably watched this video of him on his Twitch feed a couple of months ago. So it was really cool to be able to see, if you will, this final piece. It's for Wonder Woman 750. I did not know that at the time. I thought it was more of a commission that he was working on. I now feel like I should track these down. I feel like I should track these down. Wonder Woman 750, the connecting covers, may be coming in a haul video at some point in the near future. But that was a really cool moment for me when I had an opportunity to kind of see this thing. But he goes on to kind of talk about how he'd like to partner up with a really awesome writer and would love to add new elements to her mythology. He says he thinks her rogue gallery can use some expansion. And he says he'd love to do something with Amazonian, history and technology, some cool stuff, blah, blah, blah. So I thought that was a really cool little article. Jim Lee has been basically the premier artist for DC for quite some time. And it's really cool that there are still things that get him excited, right? That he could work on anything And these are the kinds of things that he is actually excited about working on, which is Wonder Woman. And I think that that's really, really cool. So, what you see on screen here is some stuff that he did with Scott Williams, his long-term inker. And I guess Alex Sinclair is the colorist. But Scott Williams and Jim Lee go way, way back. And so again, just a really quick, fun article that I saw that I was excited about because it tied to something that we talked about just earlier this week, that being Stan Lee. And then it was also this connection to me watching his Twitch feed. And I sit there and I'll be working out and I'll just be listening to Jim talk about art. And I think that it is fantastic to be able to, hear his thought process and what he goes through, and just to watch this guy erase something, wave his hand over the page, and then some fantastic art just kind of falls out on the page like it's no big deal, and then he'll just erase it and just redo it. That level of talent, I think, is just fascinating. It is fascinating. Shout out to all the creative types out there. I do not have that talent. I can string together a couple of sentences, but I cannot draw to save my life. Now, here's one other thing that I wanted to cover off on. In the Instagram story that I put up a short while ago, I said that I was going to be joined by a special guest. By now, you guys may have seen the special guest, the pimple that is on my nose. I don't want people to think that I set up some clickbait, so I wanted to definitely cover off on the fact that the special guest is a writer. I have a writer on my... Told you guys, feeling frisky on a Friday. That's all that I'm going to say to you. Scrolling down to the bottom, seeing what you guys are talking about. Women, the Three Amigos, saying Raging Cajun, talking about Lee, Scott Williams, and Sinclair. There you go. Let me see. Jim Lee, these dudes are saving DC because it's not the shows. Man, but they are, brother. I would agree. And I think that's because they're pulling out some really good comics. There are some good comics that are coming out of DC. That Three Jokers is fantastic. I cannot wait to continue reading that. Three Jokers, I thought was just really, really good. The great covers, and then the Jim Lee artwork is just really hard. So Squirrel Madness is in the house. It is good to see you. My man, finally, my Canadian brother finally received his signature series, Gung Ho issue number 7 in the mail. I'm glad that it finally made its way to you, brother. Let me see. I really enjoyed the Wonder Woman Rebirth B covers. Honestly, anything Jim Lee. Jonathan, I am with you, my man. I am with you. Michael Turner did some excellent connecting covers with the man. Yes, he did. Yes, he did, Vika. I'm literally in the process of pulling together as many Michael Turner comics covers as I possibly can. And you guys remember I did a tribute. I think one tribute video to Michael Turner. I'm planning to do another. And that next one, I hope, will have a lot of his covers, if not all of his covers. And I don't know if I'll be able to do all, but I'm aiming for a healthy number of Michael Turner covers. So you might be like, why is he staring off into the distance? I am looking at a bin outside of my comic book room that I am sticking all Michael Turner covers in. So that is what I am looking at. There's a super chat that just popped. Oh, my man Vika, shout out to you, brother. So he comes in, he makes a great comment, and then he drops a super chat. I mean, that's the kind of subscriber that I like. It is good to see you, brother. I hope all is well with you, for real. Kimball's talking about Three Jokers. It is robustly dope. We had to take a pause. I had to put an extra pause between the robust. No, brother, you hooked yourself up. All I did was put a robust amount of bubble wrap on there and send it to Canada. That's all that I did. That was the extent of my thing. So I will tell you guys, I reached out to CGC today and I was like, check it out. I need to know what's going on with my blue labels. Because here's the thing. The blue label comics were like scheduled to be grading like 2 weeks before the yellow label. The yellow labels were still in like received. And before you know it, they went from like received to be scheduled grading to be shipped to be at my house in like 2 weeks, right? And I'm still looking at the blue labels like scheduled for grading. I'm like, come on, like how long can you be scheduled for? So CGC said to me today, they were like, they were being pressed and they're stating the times for me. I'm like, I don't really need to know turnaround time because I know turnaround time. But they were like, they're out of pressing. and now they're actually going to be scheduled for grading. I'm like, but they were scheduled for grading like weeks ago. So I'm saying that to folks to say that if you ordered a yellow label and a blue label together, I will hopefully have an update for you guys soon as to what is happening with those. Many of your yellow labels are actually on the wall. I've basically sold, I think, almost out of the yellow labels, with the exception of the ones that I'm going to keep and the ones that have already been paid for that are kind of sort of hanging on the wall and like one or two down at my ankles. So I'll keep you guys posted. All right. Let me see. Let me see. Scrolling through some of the comments here, seeing again, if you guys throw it up in all caps, it actually helps me to be able to see it. So that's what. Yes. Well, here's the thing. If you ordered a blue label and a yellow label, because what happened is you had a lot of people that ordered a yellow label and a blue label. Some ordered a yellow label, blue label, and raw copies. And so what I did is, as the raw copies came in, I sent those out. As the yellow labels came in, I sent those out. But those people that ordered the blue label and the yellow label, I've been holding those because I didn't charge enough shipping to be able to send 3 shipments. I charged enough to kind of send 2 shipments. And that's why I'm holding the yellow labels, because I'm waiting for the blue label so I can send them as 1 shipment. Hopefully that makes sense to people. And yes, it is a drag. I get it. And if Vika, brother, you just dropped a super chat, you like on your way to a bonus shipping. So if you want to talk about it, just send me a message and we can kind of talk to it. We can talk through it. So let me scroll down through some of the comments here. There we go. My man Kimball says, I received my yellow label variant Monday. Thanks again. You are very welcome, my friend. You are very welcome. What is that? There's another comment here. Many books are scheduled at CGC for a while. Most people, you know what the thing is? I have not experienced that. I have not experienced any of that kind of stuff. Typically, my stuff moves right through and it goes from scheduled to being graded to being shipped relatively quickly. And so yeah, I mean, that has been my experience, and I've sent a lot of books to CGC, but maybe they're doing something different. I don't know. I really don't know. Let me scroll through. H Factor, it's good to see you, brother. I was hoping you had some pull, been waiting. Well, I did get the yellow labels back in record time, brother. I don't think that they realize that the blue labels are important as well. I think they prioritize yellow labels anytime a creator, and in this case, I'm considered a creator, even though I am not. I think that they prioritize yellow label stuff, but I don't think that anyone knew that the yellow label and blue label were structured the way that they were. You know, I definitely learned a lot from this process, and if we ever do another variant again, I may have to do something different, or at least put cautionary notes out there for folks a little bit better maybe than I did this time. So something for, you know, the thing is, all of this is a learning experience for all of us, I think. Scrolling down through the comments, my man, Super Honorable Nephew dropped a dope super chat. He says, I'm rebagging some autographed Jim Lee goodness into Mylar. This live stream definitely is a good distraction. You are welcome, sir. You are welcome. Jim Lee deserves Mylar. I'm gonna just put that out there. Just put him in the Mylars right now. This guy's gonna go down as a legend, in my opinion. And what's funny is that I remember watching some interviews where he was talking about how people were overly critical of his artwork and his artistic style, because they said that it was too generic and it wasn't descriptive enough and it wasn't distinct enough. I don't know. I don't know how I feel about that, because I just think that the dude's artwork is really, really fantastic. And I've always thought that his Wolverine that he used to do back in the 90s, I can close my eyes and I can picture some of his Wolverine artwork. The dude is just extremely talented. And I've been fortunate to see, you know, some of his pencil work, some of the stuff that he did on the Holy Trinity. I've seen some Michael Turner line work, pencil work, just fantastic stuff. Just talented individuals. And again, of which I have none. Scrolling down, see, Tina makes you feel good about everything. You like 4 months late. Tina's like, it's okay. It'll be okay. I appreciate you, Tina. Who is this? Timothy. Timothy dropped a super chat. Happy Friday to you, brother. It is definitely good to see you. Thank you, man. Oh, for those that don't know, so we did some stuff today. This week we released a video in which I talked about the best pricing guide. And here's the truth: there is no best pricing guide. Shocker, right? There is no best pricing guide. The thing is, find a pricing guide that works, that meets your needs, use it consistently. That's the nutshell, right? But because of that video, I went ahead and I released or re-released another video with Ron from comicspriceguide.com. And this is what I use to price my books for my raw books, right? They, in that interview a year ago, gave a discount code for people that wanted an annual membership. And Ron watched the video back. I told him it was coming. He watched it back. He reactivated that code for another week. So if you do want to pick up a membership from comicspriceguide.com, you can use the discount code that is mentioned at the end of that video to save a couple of bucks on your annual membership. I do not remember what the code is, or else I would give it to you. I honestly do not remember it, even though I watched the video just recently. But shout out to Ron, shout out to comicspriceguide.com. And just again, for full transparency, I get nothing off of that discount code. That was them honestly being nice by saying, hey, if you sign up, you can save a couple of bucks. I get nothing off of it. And that's perfectly fine. Wasn't looking for it, didn't ask for it. But again, Comics Price Guide is a dope service. So if you want to sign up for it, there is that. And then the Go Collect discount code is actually on my website. I just updated it because it expired on the 17th. I updated it with a new code. So that is there on regiecollects.com on the partners page. So if you go there, you can actually find it there. Scrolling through the comments here, seeing what else you guys are talking about. Man, bro, I didn't even do it. Here's the thing. It's like, I thought about it when I watched the video back. When I was re-editing it, I was like, man, should I email them and like, hey, can you guys reactivate this? And there's always that balance of, is it my place to ask for that? You know what I'm saying? Like, is that right? Is that wrong? So I actually didn't do it. And I left it in there because of the way that the conversation was going. To edit it would have made it awkward. And I think Ron actually said this is valid for like 1 week, right? So he had that in there. In the description, I put that this is a remaster video that was previously recorded to kind of say to people, this is not an active link. But Ron and the guys at Comics Price Guide took it upon themselves to actually reactivate it, which I just think that's just good of them. You know what I'm saying? I wish I could take credit for it. I actually cannot take credit for any of it. So scrolling through some of the comments here. All right, so we reached the bottom of that. There was another thing that I wanted to talk about. It popped into my head as I was talking about one of these other topics, and I kind of filed it, but then forgot what it was. But again, if there's things you guys want to talk about, throw it up in all caps, because it'll actually help me to be able to see it a little bit better when I have a light in my eye and I'm trying to see something on screen. It's a little bit difficult. We'll tell you guys that there is the really awesome book that is being given away based upon the sponsorship of the folks over at Go Collect. So this is Amazing Spider-Man 229, a 9.8 with white pages, little Juggernaut, Madam Web action, and Black Tom Cassidy all in this one. So you can actually snag this book this week. All you have to do is watch the videos on the channel. A couple of people reached out to me asking if this was still open to Canadians for the last 80 plus weeks. Yes, it has been open to Canadians. No change, no deviation. The thing is, if I change something with regard to one of the contests or whatever, you rest assured that it will be posted multiple places, right? Like there is one giveaway per week. It is available to U.S. residents, Canadian residents, people that have a mailing address in the U.S. Those things, those fundamentals have not changed, right? So hopefully that helps. I didn't quite understand what people were like, well, is it still available Canadians? I'm like, I love my Canadians. So yes, it is still available to Canadians. Let's check on our stats real quick. Let's see what we're doing up in Canada. We're doing in Canada, eh? Real quick, let's look at audience. Right now, up in Canada, 7.4% of our audience comes from Canada. 77.8% comes from the US, and 7.4% comes from Canada, from my brothers and sisters up north. All right. What is it? Super chat in from my man Squirrel Man. It says, missed everyone. Glad to be back. Bro, I'm gonna be honest with you. It is good to see you. It really is good to see you. So we did a live stream, Q&A live stream earlier this week to talk about dry cleaning as part of the deluxe comic book dry cleaning kit that I have offered up. And Squirrel Madness popped up on the screen, and it's good to see his face, right? Because it's one of those things that it is hard for me to remember everyone's, email addresses, screen names, real names, and then faces. But there are some people that I interact with on a regular and consistent basis that helps me to lock it in. And it's like, I follow him, he follows me, I watch his videos, he watches my videos, and he's all around good guy. And then he goes away for very valid reasons, and you just kind of miss seeing that name, miss seeing that face. So he popped up on screen. I was like, oh, there's my Canadian brother. And then he had technical problems and had to drop. But it is good to see you. It is good to see you, Wayne. I am glad that you are back. Thank you, brother. All right. Black Tom Cassidy is a super dope. Except that he's not black and he's full of weeds right now because he's on cocoa. He's just full of weeds. So I read the Juggernaut issue number 1. I don't know if you guys read that. Juggernaut issue number 1 was not a bad read. It was not a fantastic read by Fabian. Not a fantastic read, but it was a good read. What's funny is I was actually talking about Fabian with Chris Claremont and his wife. They were telling me a couple of stories about this guy. But the Juggernaut issue number 1, if you guys haven't read it, is not a bad read. I don't honestly know a whole lot about the inner workings of Juggernaut as like a character. And that's part of the reason why I covered the series on Sunday, where I was, talking about what I was excited about reading, because in my head, I'm like, well, they're going to let us get to know a little bit more about Kane Marco. Right. And so it was cool to actually read issue number 1 and get to hear and hear what he thinks and how he views himself, not as a hero, even though he's doing some heroic kind of things. And I don't want to spoil it for people, but it's not a bad read. There are still a lot of unanswered questions that I have after reading issue number 1, but that's probably by design. And those things will probably be revealed little by little in issues 2 through 5. But I'm looking forward to it. It was an enjoyable read. Let's put it that way. So if you guys haven't checked that out, definitely encourage it. So scrolling down through the comments here again, did anyone mention the WandaVision trailer that show is going to be? Here's the thing, Bello. Completely honest, bro, 100% transparent. I was concerned about WandaVision. When they first showed the first clips of that a while ago and it was black and white, I was like, that is like the corniest thing ever. Is the whole show going to be in black and white and set back in the day? The second clip, this full official trailer, I was like, okay, this could be good. And now I feel better about it. So now I'm actually kind of excited about it. I am actually kind of excited about what they may do with WandaVision. And I think, I actually covered this as part of the Go Collect speculation video. Like last week, somebody was making some speculation recommendations about WandaVision. And I'm like, okay, I can kind of see some of this stuff now. So I think it was a good trailer. It wasn't the best trailer, but it was head and shoulders above the clips that they had actually shown before. And now I'm actually paying attention. Now I'm actually kind of excited about seeing that one. So scrolling through, Wayne giving a couple of details on some things here. So I was not going to touch that. But Wayne is giving some details. So, my thoughts are with you, brother. Told you that Juggernaut was on to something. Ariel says Thomas Mayo. It's good to see you, Thomas. As always, brother. Love the WandaVision trailer, says Jerry. That's right. Scrolling down. But what is this? Okay, you guys are having a little conversation. I am not mad at you. Not mad at you. Oh, shoot. It is all about the Alaskans. Maybe I have an affinity for vast wildernesses and cold environments. Maybe that is because I love some Canada, but I really love some Alaska. Aegis Comics, it is good to see you guys. If you are on Instagram and you want to laugh, check these guys out. They do some funny. There was a Deadpool skit that they did that once you see it, you cannot unsee it. I'm a little scarred. But they also do some things on YouTube as well. So if you guys are interested in supporting a local comic shop, and by local, I mean Alaskan local, check it out. Awesome guys up there, guys and gals doing some really, really cool stuff. They hooked me up with that really cool Red Sonja variant a couple of weeks ago. And I think they sent me something else recently. I haven't received it yet, but once I get it, they will get another shout out. But I definitely appreciate the super chat or the super sticker from you guys. Scrolling down through the comments here, She Spawn. I'll tell you this, and I tell you guys, when I do that intro at the beginning of the Ready, Set, Go preview show, where I'm like, things are tough out there, right? It is tough for people. There is a reason why I'm doing that stuff. And I'm doing it because I talk to a lot of people and people are going through some stuff. I mean, it's the normal stuff that happens in life. But to me, it's a little bit more acute because of the COVID stuff. You know what I'm saying? And to me, it's just like hard stuff on top of hard stuff. And so I think that it's just one of those things, man, where if you have a bright spot, if you have something that's enjoyable, you have to really focus on those bright spots because there is so much hard stuff out there. You know what I'm saying? And that's why I think people are enjoying the channel, because we come here, we have a good time. We forget about some of that other stuff that exists at least for a moment to give ourselves a little bit of a reprieve before we have to go back and deal with some of the more harsher realities that we face. And the collective we have been through a lot of stuff. And it's important that we all take a little bit of time to acknowledge that. And there are folks in this room that have been through a lot of stuff, man. So my thoughts are with all of you guys. Jerry's giving shout outs. That's what's up. Scrolling down through the comments, seeing what else you guys are talking about. So who thinks Wanda was sent to help Scarlet Witch? Oh, wait a minute. So who thinks Vision was sent to help Scarlet Witch with... You know what? The thing is, I was so confused by the trailer because that woman was like, "You're dead," talking to Vision, and technically he is dead. So I'm like, is Wanda manifesting his, creating this environment in which she has basically brought Vision back to life? Because wasn't he dead, right? So that's what I'm like struggling with that one right now, and that's what a little bit makes it a little bit exciting for me to be able to check it out. 2020 has facts. These are facts. Yeah, there you go. Man, you are welcome, brother. I was a little behind on some of the comments there. So, there was another thing. One of the other things I'll throw out to you guys before I get myself out of here, because I'm like at 32 minutes and there was a price to pay, was that I was thinking the other day that we are very focused on this idea of there being the next big bad. Right? We are focused on this idea of who is the next big bad. And the thought that I had is that Marvel gives us the unexpected in many ways, right? We spend all this time brainstorming and thinking about what the possibilities could be, and then they do something that we never even thought of, right? And so everybody's thinking, who is the next big bad? And the thought that I had is maybe there is no next big bad. Maybe there are the next big bads. Maybe there are multiple villains that will present themselves. Maybe those villains will present themselves at the same time. Maybe they will be intertwined. But that was one of the thoughts that I had, is that we are so focused on, is it Kang the Conqueror? Is it Galactus? Is Thor coming back? I'm not Thor, Thanos. We're so busy thinking about these people as individuals and not necessarily thinking about there being a collective big bad that comes back, right? Multiple characters, a villainous team, right? And I think we have to start thinking potentially in those terms, because if we are limiting ourselves to what has already been done, then we're definitely going to get surprised, because that is exactly what they do. So I think we have to think a little bit more broad, right? Why limit ourselves to a villain? Why could they not introduce multiple villains, right? That might be hop skipping through time or doing whatever the heck it is that they're going to do. I don't know. But that was one of the thoughts that I had, is that there may not just be one, right? So let me scroll through and let me see what you guys, hey now. Sinister. Well, the Sinister Six is in Sony. Sinister Six is Sony, the Sony universe. We're talking about, I'm talking, and I should have clarified, that was my bad. I'm talking about Marvel, MCU. That is a different story from the Sinister Six. But I think we will see the Sinister Six in Sony. That is without a doubt. But I'm thinking more MCU level stuff. That's more what I was referring to. So scrolling to Legion of Doom, says Thomas Mayo. Can I have one of your comics from back there? No. No. So Reyes, so I do think that we're actually sold out on the website right now. Those books are either going to stay in my personal collection or I'll give them away for some contest or something like that. Or those books are already sold because they've already been purchased and they are waiting to be bundled up with a blue label version before being sent out to the final owner. So yeah, I don't think that we have any. We do, however, have raw copies available at regiecollects.com. If you head over to the website, there's a ton of graded and raw comics available on the website for purchase. So you can definitely check that out. regiecollects.com. 1G. Zane, how you doing, brother? I hope we get Kang, Galactus, and Annihilus. Brother, I just picked up the first appearance of Annihilus, the first appearance of Kang, and I already have a couple of first appearances of Galactus. Bello, talk dirty to me, brother. Just bring it on. All right, I am going to wrap this thing up. I want to thank you guys for hanging out with me with this this impromptu live stream. It is always fun when I can just come on here and just have a good time with you guys. I want to thank you guys because, to be honest with you, part of what makes this really fun for me is being able to interact with you guys and the things that you say in the comment section. To me, that not the comment section, but the chat, that is the thrill of it for me. I don't know where you guys are going to go, and I literally just come in and riff off of what you guys say. So thank you guys for constantly contributing to the substance and the quality of the channel, because I could come on here and just have nothing to chat about because you guys aren't saying anything. So I definitely appreciate that. And as a reminder, if you are interested in joining Patreon, I'm doing something special for Patreon. It is going to be something that is going to run for the quarter, basically starting October 1 through basically the billing cycle for December. I am basically going to give away a package to a Patreon member based upon their tier. And what that means is that you can get into Patreon for like $5. And at the $5 tier, if you happen to win, because there'll be maybe one or multiple winners, I have not decided, you will get a certain type of book or certain type of books. If you are at the highest tier, you'll get a lot of books. That could be expensive books. They could be nice books. It'll be something that is commensurate with the tier. So for example, and I'm making this up, $100 book for $5 entry, I might not do, right? But I might do, you know, if you were a $5 and you win, it might be a $50 package or something like that. If you were at the highest tier, it might be a $100 book and some other stuff. I'm throwing this out as an example to put a little bit of texture to what I mean by that, right? Anyone that joins Patreon can join at any level. You get a bunch of stuff, right? You get behind the scenes information. I do a lot of that. You get invited to private chats. You come on screen with me. We chat it up. We do that periodically. You also get a $50, or no, you at the point of donating $50, you actually get an AOK for me that is comprised of a couple of books and stuff like that. Sometimes it's stickers, sometimes it's other things, t-shirts, it's all kinds of stuff. It just depends upon what I have at the time. So there are some benefits. What I'm doing is adding something to it by doing a quarterly giveaway. And so I actually posted up a couple of books earlier today on the community tab. So if you guys are interested in that, that is available to you. I think I spent way too much time talking about that, so we're going to move on. But I want to thank you guys for hanging out just a little bit. If you guys need to reach out to me, you can do it in one of two ways. Instagram is probably the best at Regie Collects, or you can send me an email to reggie@regiecollects.com. My hope is that you guys will join me for the Ready, Set, Go preview show on Sunday night at 7:30 p.m. Pacific time. That is when we come together and make magic as a channel and as a community. So I hope you guys will join me for that, because that chat is a whole lot of fun, because I give you a preview of all the content that comes out from the channel. If you have yet to subscribe to the channel, I want to officially invite you to join right now, because that makes you eligible for the various giveaways, but it also assures, if you will, that you don't miss any of the content and the live streams that we do here at the channel. With that, I'm going to wrap this up. I hope that you guys have a great weekend, and I will see you Sunday night at 7:30. Take care.